So, the next work, 435, Much Madness is Divinest Sense. This is a fantastic little work. Much madness is divinest sense to a discerning eye, much sense the starkest madness. 'Tis the majority in this as all prevail. Assent and you are sane. Demur, which means object, especially on moral grounds. You're straightway dangerous and handled with a chain. This poem is kind of hilarious, and it's about like the tyranny of democracy, right? This idea that much madness is divinest sense to a discerning eye, much sense the starkest madness. 'Tis the majority in this as all prevail. So basically, the idea that mass culture, mass agreement, the things that we all agree on, that seems most sensible may in fact be madness. And the thing that seems like madness, the thing that seems like insanity, that might actually be the real sensible idea. And if you look back through history, so many people who had ideas that seemed insane by the common majority or whatever, they've ultimately been vindicated in time. Okay, like look at somebody like Galileo, for example, vindicated in time. Somebody like Socrates, vindicated in time. Somebody like Jesus, okay, like during his time, they actually wanted him to be killed, but then in time we see him as sort of a great leader. So there are these examples throughout time in which something that seemed like madness ultimately was divinest sense. And that's what she's talking about in this poem. You can actually even sort of regard it in terms of her own life and what she did in her own sort of experience, because to other people, she, like staying in her room all the time, for example, may have seemed insane. And to us today, that seems maybe crazy, but in another way, maybe there is a divinest sense to that. And also this idea of, the freedom of thought versus the freedom of the body. You can't have both, because if you have freedom of thought, maybe the body is going to be constricted because you're going to be succumb to social pressures. But if you have the freedom of the body, where you are allowed to do as you please, in accordance with social standards, you're going to have to sort of suppress your own mental will in what you want to accomplish in your life. So there's some complicated stuff there.